Hey, what's up, guys? It's Nick here from Nick and Andrew's Wrestling Reviews. Actually, Nick and Andrew's Reviews, but whatever. And I have some pretty major MMA news. I got quite a ton of it, actually. But first, I want to kick it off with the one that was breaking news the most. Bjorn Rebney, the president of the CEO and founder of Bellator, has announced his split from it. Now, the rumor is that Spike TV and Bellator and Bjorn didn't really see eye to eye in the direction of Bellator and his vision on it. And honestly, they probably weren't into the whole tournament format anymore. And I think a lot of us are into that now, too. The tournaments were cool at first. You know, it really was cool in the first couple seasons. But after, 10,000 seasons, it's kind of like, you see the same guys. And it just gets old, I'd rather just normal format, like this guy fights this guy fights that guy, this guy's now the number one contender. I'd rather just normal, just keep it normal. Tournaments are cool, do it every once in a while, I guess. But, like I was saying, Bjorn is no longer a part of Bellator, which is shocking to me. But what makes it exciting is the guy who's the new president of Bellator MMA is Scott Coker. For those who don't know who Scott Coker is the man who brought us Strikeforce. And I loved Strikeforce. Strikeforce is honestly my favorite MMA organization ever. You had guys like Fedor, Josh Barnett, Bigfoot Silva, Nick Diaz, all these guys that came from Strikeforce that were just tearing up. They had great events from Strikeforce. I remember I used to be so stoked every time Strikeforce would put on an event. I think this is the best thing for Bellator. They get a guy like Scott Coker, a guy who was highly successful with Strikeforce. Yeah, granted, UFC bought out Strikeforce. That's okay. It's whatever. Scott Coker made out like a bandit with that deal. But Scott Coker is now the president of Bellator. I think he's going to bring Bellator to a whole new level. Now, there's a lot of questions to be answered. Will some of these guys stay? Like Rampage Jackson now. Maybe Rampage only wanted to work with Bjorn. Bjorn kind of kissed Rampage's butt, as you can see. Ask King Mo. We'll see, man. I'm excited. Coker and Mo worked together before, so King Mo might, probably will stick around. And I'm just really excited to see what Coker has to the table. Now, staying on the Bellator topic, Bellator's also reached out to Kimbo Slice. Okay? For those who don't know Kimbo Slice, the famous internet fighting guy, the street fighter. If you don't know who Kimbo Slice is, you live under a rock and you should YouTube him right now. He's awesome. He made an appearance on The Ultimate Fighter. He fought in the UFC. He's fought in Elite XC. He's 4-2 in MMA. He's 7-0 in boxing, and God knows what his record is in street fighting. But yes, they've reached out. They're in negotiations. So Kimbo Slice might be Bellator bound, and I think if he does sign Bellator, you probably will see the Josh Thompson rematch. Also, for those of you who are wondering who live in Arizona, your main event has been announced. The main event for UFC Fight Night 49 is Benson Henderson versus Rafael Dos Anjos. An amazing lightweight battle right there. Also, UFC 176's co-main event is a rematch that I'm super stoked for, which is Gegard Mousasi versus Jacare Souza. Now, UFC Fight Night 47 in Maine for the first time. Your guys' main event is pretty awesome. You got Ryan Bader versus Ovince St. Preux. Ovince St. Preux is a Strikeforce vet. Guy I'm very high on. I think he's going to do a lot of great things in the sport. And then last but not least, last thing on the list, Brandon Vera and the UFC have gone their separate ways. Brandon Vera is one of those guys, he was a whole lot of hype. He never lived up to it. It's a shame. I'm a huge fan of Brandon Vera. Hope he does well. I would love to see him go to maybe Bellator or maybe go Glory Kickboxing or hell, even go to World Series of Fighting. There's a lot of options for a guy like Brandon Vera. And hey, if this is the last time we've ever seen him fight, so be it. But Brandon Vera, I wish you the best in the future, and I hope you get all the success in the world. Thank you guys. Like this video and subscribe. And also, if you have not picked up EA Sports UFC, go buy it. That thing is dope. Thank you guys.